See that cunt over there? He's hacking. He's getting away. Hereby pronounce this hacker oh fuck dead.
What am I doing?
There, we're good. See what... Oh my fucking god. The most controversial video ever. Top 10 anime betrayals. This is probably the most controversial video that you guys will see to this day. I am going to be talking about Jack Sucks at Life. No, in all seriousness, I'm not going to be talking about this guy unless he just comes out in the topic. Today I'm actually going to be talking about the Skycade community. But before we get started, if you can tell that something is a bit different, the message to users videos were just short rants of me either telling people to stop appealing on my YouTube videos. Excuse me, sir, I have seemed to be banned from your Minecraft server play.skycade.net. Or all of a sudden a server just copied a game mode by accident. So, Skycade. Oh. I hate that helmet. Instead, it's going to be in a form of like some kind of rant or documentary, or even not even a rant, but maybe talking or something about a specific community, maybe a YouTuber, or how this Amazon card didn't work. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about my staff life on Skycade, why I resigned on the forums, or the true reason why I resigned, because there are other reasons why I resigned. Some staff being biased, and some suggestions not being taken into consideration. And maybe I might have some things about the community, myself, and some other players that they want to address. So I'm going to be taking all of the hate in this video, so if you are a Skycade fan and if you don't like this video, make sure to click that dislike button and make sure to subscribe. And enjoy this Jack Sucks at Minecraft wallpaper, because I love his face so much. It all began in a very cold day of November, where Jack actually uploaded a video of applying staff applications, and I was like, oh hell yeah, I want to apply, because I love his server and I love his videos back when it was 2015. I actually don't mind his videos anyway. So I finally applied as staff, and then I got a message from Thomas V Gaming saying that I was accepted, and I was like, oh hell yeah. So I got added to this very unorganized Skype group, and there was the people that I actually met for the first time. So there was Itzreeth, there was Livsky, there was Manday, and Regraphy. Forgot about him. I will be mentioning him later. So I'm like, oh hell yeah, this is going to be a fun kind of hobby. So I've actually played a server before I joined Skycade, which made it where pre-mods, which they were called, they were going to have the permission to fly. It wasn't that malicious. They only had like grief prevention. They had these things where they can check the grief preventions and all that other stuff. Of course, Skycade Factions wasn't going to have that, but I assume helpers would have had flied. Well, goddamn, I was wrong, because obviously my mind deceived me, because obviously Mindplex helpers don't even get those either, so I should have expected this a mile away. So then I got inactive. Actually, no, I've actually helped a little bit of the server for a while. And then I had issues with a previous relationship, and then I kind of went inactive, and I decided, like, you know what, forget this mod interview, because obviously I'm not going to get accepted. So I left, just like that. I probably said that I was going to come back later, but 2 months late, I didn't even touch Skycade for the next 2 months, I presume that's when I resigned. Shout out to Regraphy, hope I got your name right, who actually encouraged me to reapply on February. So I applied at the start of February. Again, a previous relationship was going down to shit, and I just needed some time off just to get that out of my brain. So I've actually got accepted again, but this time Thomas didn't add me, but Roltz did. And then obviously I became helper. I've actually been active a little later. Then I got a little break. I didn't resign or anything. It's just I was in some kind of uncomfortable position where a relationship has ended. But again, I took some time off on Skycade to help me with my depression. And then I went from helper, and then I started YouTube again all of a sudden. And then I went to mod, and then I went to senior mod, and then I went back down to mod. I don't want to explain more, but I mean, there was some issues when Dang decided, or Scott decided, or Dang, that's a long name, that decided to actually make himself its owner and actually almost drive Skycade into what was called the deep depression of Skycade. I was actually very close to resigning because I was almost done with this bullshit, but I was senior mod at the time, and I didn't want to give that away. And then Jack decided to return himself as owner, Scott being the YouTuber, and then Scott left, and then new managers happened, and then I got demoted to mod, and then of course, on October, or almost a month ago, I decided to resign from Skycade because, I mean, I'll tell you that. So what I'm currently going to put up right here, which obviously you can't see, but thank God, because I don't want my main email address to be leaked, even though some people already know. But here's my resignation document, if you can see from over here. Obviously you can't see it, but I will read it, and I'll probably put it on the screen. So I'm not going to read bit by bit, because I've already addressed that I was going to resign on October 20th. But I'm going to give show off some thanks, and all that other stuff, I guess. This was not the thread that I wanted to go on. So it's been almost 2 years, which, it's actually true. It's almost been 2 years, excluding my resignation somewhere 2 weeks after Skycade's opening, that I've been staff. And over those times, I've been well known on the server. Hell, I even made the Skycade logo, as you see today, as an example. I did make that logo, and I'm actually pretty proud of it. I hope they don't change it, otherwise I'll kill myself. Unfortunately, from not too long ago, I've been removed as senior moderator. Now, it's not any of the new manager's fault. I actually made the decision that I was gonna step down as mod, just because my activity, which I honestly saw myself, wasn't being as efficient as I was before. So I decided to give the choice and actually de-stress out Holly that I was going to be taking my senior mod role down. And then obviously more senior mods came in, and obviously I wasn't going to get it back. So I resigned later. So I did say that this was not the enemy. I tend to stay around for a while. I tend to hop on the server on and off at sometimes now. I've actually went on yesterday just to play little factions, and then I got bored and I decided to play some Kid PvP. I have not confirmed this, but I plan to reapply as helper on February of 2018. Now, I don't know if that's going to be true, and obviously that's going to be actually the second year that oh sorry, my nose is itchy. February 2018 is going to probably be the second year that I apply for staff the second time. And then I'm going to be reviving by applying for the third time. Well, that's what I thought until I decided to make this video, because by the time I actually start kind of pointing fingers at some staff members, which I'm very sorry, but it's actually honestly the truth, and I should probably vouch for everybody who has noticed this, and some ex-staff members should probably step up for them, because there were some things I decided to hide, but at the same time, guys should probably know about this. So there are some true reasons why I resigned over on Skycade. So some of the reasons why I resigned was motivation, lack of motivation I mean, and school. But there were other reasons I am going to explain in this video just to get the staff members' attention, because this actually involves the whole community, just so I can actually help out some people who suggested some of these, who encountered some of these, and somebody like more important. Obviously I wasn't that important when I started getting inactive as senior mod, but I was more important back in the day, and some of you guys are subscribed to my channel because of this Jack Sucks at MC trolling that it's really irrelevant at the time. So yeah, some of you know me as a staff member, and you're still subscribed because I was a staff member. So a lot of you guys could be watching this at this time, and you'll be understanding, or at least knowing, what is going on in the community. Behind the scenes, or encountered by others, any of those kinds of crap. Now, in my opinion, at the time when the new management came, when Alex, Reese, and Holly decided to take over management, this is what I like to call the Skycade Deep Depression 2. Now, it's not as bad as Scott's takeover, because Scott was a child-friendly server, but if you could tell from Jack's videos, I have to mention them in this one, he's been uploading a lot of Harmony Hollow series. Now, I don't mind this Harmony Hollow series. It's actually relatively good. But the thing is, I've been noticing that it's actually a bit more PG than PG-13. Now, Jack did say, I think I did hear him say this before, is that he's trying to make this channel a little bit of a PG-13 base because Skycade before was a little bit of a PG-13 server because of those factions. But now there's SMP and then there's Skyblock. I'm actually just naming all the PG kind of related servers in here. But you can see the community is kind of shifting. But you can see that the community is shifting by a little bit. I could be just seeing this myself, but some people might be noticing this, and they might be noticing that the community is starting to change a little bit. Now, this is Jack's decision and not mine, and I honestly don't care what he does to his channel, but as a well-known subscriber to Jack, I've been noticing that his channel is kind of changing in communities. Back then, he was actually a child-friendly community, and then with Joe and Jack and that mean comments video where he decided to swear a lot, I thought it was going to go... It started shifting to, like, the PG-13 area. And then he started uploading Harmony Hollow, and then more game modes on Skycade that are a little bit child-friendly, in my honest opinion. His community started to shift once more. Again, I honestly don't care about this, but you guys might see it, and I don't know if it affects your gameplay in the community, but to me, I'll explain later. Another thing I wanted to address is some staff members being biased to other players, or staff members themselves. I had a little bit of a rant on Discord that I said that I was going to criticize about the staff members on Skycade, how they're biased to players and how they're biased to staff members. First up, I want to give an honorable mention to KTA because he's going to be the first example for this point. Now, if we can go, let's go check KTA's ban. So if you don't know who KTA is, I'm actually the first person who actually legitimately banned him for X-Ray. If you want to know about this, if you want to know how, I have left a video in the description below. It's actually the best hacker catching video that I ever made on this channel. I also caught him the second time legit, and he was perm banned, until Welsh Alex decided to unban him. So if you can see here, obviously you can tell that you can't see anything, but he has 2 pages of bans, and we'll just go through all of them with each other. KTA, banned by Monday for inappropriate build. That's when we had creative. And until we get to the first page, you can see that later I've actually banned him for KTA for staff. Again, as part of a video. And that was a legit ban. And then he got banned again, by me again, with a lot of hacks. For episode 25. If you want to see that video, that will also be in the description. And then all of a sudden, for some reason, he's been getting different kinds of kicks, mutes, and bans. And then, from what I've been told today, I've actually got some people who play Skycade who have been noticing these differences as well. It's that for some reason, his bans are being reset. What? What the fuck is this? There are a bunch of controversy and examples of bias when it comes to KTA. So recently, a moderator just got demoted because he thought that KTA deserved a second chance. He got banned for bug abuse. It was a permanent ban. But then Tree Demolisher, which was the mod, decided to be like, wait, I need my outfit. I see he has a lot of bans on his record. Maybe I should be a nice guy and decide to give him an unban and not tell the staff about it. Oh, and here's a little conversation I had with Welsh Alex. And then later that day, he got demoted and no, he didn't get banned. But then, for some reason, I actually didn't know that Welsh Alex decided to just temporarily ban them. So, it should be a permanent, but according to the management, they decided to reset his bans. KTA has got away multiple times. And staff like to bring him back. Probably for comedy's sake, but really it's just been really annoying that he's been getting banned and muted and somehow just getting away with it. Really, I personally think this bug abuse ban was actually permanent, not temporary. So staff possibly have a little list of people who to just like, oh, he has like 50 bans. Well, we'll give him a ban, but later on when he appeals the first time, we'll reduce it to like 2 days. Now, I'm not done yet because staff are actually being biased to other staff as well. Now, it is very irrelevant now because this has been dealt with multiple times with the target Welsh Alex. Welsh Alex has been accused for a lot of things. He's been accused for flying in their base without the use of F-fly because that's what staff do. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I have done it before. Everybody does it. But another honorable mention that just popped up on the Discord is that somebody got killed by Welsh Alex when he was using creative. He lost his stuff, and then somehow I was probably he said that I was the person who actually compensated him with all the stuff that he lost. I gave out all my vault to him. Probably not all my vault, but all my belongings, because I don't play as much factions, and I like to farm the monthly kits and the staff kits, and then just give it away after. But it was a little special, because... Oh wait, that's not an example of staff bias. There are evidence that he's been accused of abuse, but he kept getting away with it. It could have been a test, it could have been just a gone wrong thing, but he was never compensated. But instead I compensated the guy anyway, just because I'm a good staff member. Anyway, there was evidence of staff bias, and I want to give a shout out to Fancy, who has been giving me some of these evidence. And actually, all of this was actually occurred when I was demoted to moderator. And guess what? It's about a faction fly situation. Fancy's been saying that most of the staff members in Parliament have actually been using F-fly, or have been using fly instead of F-fly, which that means they cannot get toggled when, or they cannot detoggle their fly when a nearby enemy comes by. But the thing is, I think this was back before factions reset, or or maybe they claimed another corner. But what I'm saying is that last factions and this factions, they claimed a corner base in the Nether, I presume, and then people decide to find their location and decide just to chill there. And every time when an enemy, or probably a neutral player, enters your claim, and if you're having F-fly on, you automatically get a 5-second warning, or 3-second warning, and then they get detoggled. Now, that's different for staff, because some staff members actually use fly instead of F-fly. I don't blame them, because it's a normal thing to do, because most moderators and senior mods and higher actually get fly for staff reasons, but they've actually been using for factions reasons as well. I was an accomplice a part of this, because sometimes back in last season, I actually helped a little bit of Parliament to build their base, and I actually used fly instead of F-fly. So I'm gonna be honest right there. But what I'm seeing in this huge paragraph of a message right here, Fancy was messaging Holly about this incident, and Holly responded that the reason players deliberately come and stand outside Parliament space to annoy staff members and get attention. It is persistent and incredibly annoying. I will not put my staff at a disadvantage in-game because they are trying to do their job. It is not fair that players who hold a vendetta against staff should deliberately try and stop them from playing. This is why I'm happy for any staff member who is the subject of persistent trolling to use fly in their base, provided and it is not being rated. I mean, how do you know it's not being rated? That's the question. Now this could probably not be staff bias. It could be just like, or maybe it is. Am I defining bias right? What I'm saying is Parliament is not only staff. There are people who are friends with the staff member who are actually in their faction, who are Randys. Maybe you shouldn't have claimed the corner base, because that's the most common places players will go to. Should have just claimed like somewhere in the middle, or like southeast. There are a bunch of easy solutions to solve this players getting to your base and all that, and also it's factions. What I'm saying is that staff members should have the fair benefit as a normal player when they're in factions. Even if players are annoying people, just don't claim at a corner. Now again, I've actually used this before, I'm not gonna lie, I'm actually being hypocritical right here. But then eventually I started not playing factions anymore, and then I've actually just been game mode 3ing and then just watching my faction members actually building their base, and then I just encounter players who are actually trying to raid. Now of course I don't have evidence of this, and and the staff members who are actually going to respond to this say to require evidence. I'm not a daily camera. I don't record my monitor every single day when I'm staff. I record it when I actually catch a hacker. And even if I record the video, I'm just gonna get a lot of people to shit on my video and just let a higher up just say that it doesn't matter. Now this is regarding to the staff and the player community, and I've explained before, the community is shifting. We're gonna use shifting a lot in this video. Shift. My NovaMC community changed, or shifted. I went from Hunter Plays MC, I went from Hunter Plays, Hunter Does, Nova, NovaMC, and back to Nova. It shifts like a madman. But as a big YouTuber like Jack, because Jack is an owner of a Minecraft server and is a popular YouTuber with 200,000 subscribers, am I right? Jack is like the main beacon of Skycade. If he decides to make PG-13, the community will shift into the Skycade community, and that's what it will be. And if he shifts to like a child-friendly, you know what happens. It's like a cycle or something. Like what happened when Scott was owner. Skycade's credibility went onto Scott's channel, which happened to be a child-friendly server. And it made a major shift, especially when he world edited the Season 2 spawn to have light blue wool. Ugh. And then he made a creative server, which honestly I don't think it was that bad. But those who were on Scott's server doesn't know how to play factions, and it really hurted my brain. And that's when he noticed that the community shifted. So that's really what I'm saying about the community. It's shifting. That's all I'm saying. Like, I have a feeling that some people below the age of 13 have started to watch his videos, but there are some people that are around my age, or maybe a little younger, maybe like 2 years younger or so, who still watches his videos. And I don't... It's fine for that. 13, 17-year-olds are watching the videos because that's, in my opinion, like what the majority of the audience is. It's just the minority is starting to have some people under the age of 12 because Harmony Hollow. Now, I'm not saying Harmony Hollow is a bad series. I actually like the series. It's just I have a feeling that it might shift the community a little more in the future. Never mind the YouTube and Skycade community. Let's talk about the Skycade community. Or did I talk about the Skycade community? I'm gonna go a little more in-depth on the Skycade community and the staff community on Skycade. What else am I talking about? The YouTube community? 1 billion likes if you want me to do a message to users in the YouTube community. I will totally take you all down. I got some complaint. Oh my god, my throat's actually dying down. So I had 2340 decide to give me a little message that he's made multiple suggestions on the forums, and most of them were approved. Maybe I might have looked at one. And most of them are widely approved. Everybody likes the suggestions and all, and then we take the staff members, and from what I see, they don't either bring up the suggestions at staff meetings, or they all get denied because they're from mundane players. Or maybe they might have suggested it and they approved, but guess who doesn't add them? But basically what he's saying is it's not easy to implement suggestions that could possibly help the server. Now, I have experienced this before. I have actually made some suggestions. Some of them get approved because it's a staff suggestion, but sometimes when some staff members, or even me, suggest a player suggestion, sometimes it does not help. Like, for example, for SMP, or even factions, for example, we actually suggest Core Protect. A lot of people suggested Core Protect. I even suggested it as well a bunch of times because a lot of people are getting X-ray complaints and they don't know who the player is because they don't have evidence. The response for Core Protect is not either, but it is because it will actually crash the server or something along the lines. I owned an SMP server for a month. I've implemented Core Protect, and I went to random teleport to a bunch of servers, or not a bunch of servers, but a lot of coordinates to set home warps, where people can go to another biome or go to somewhere across the world and make their home there. Now, it did kind of made some issues the first time, but then later during the launch we re-added it, and it's been running actually smoothly, until I closed the server down, of course. So Core Protect shouldn't be that much of a problem, but when I was sponsored by Melon Cube and when I actually had my Comet server running, I had no problems, probably because it gave me a better tire or something like that. I don't know what tire you're using, or I don't even know what host. It's probably built one by themselves kind of thing, but it's somewhere in New York, so I'm gonna go travel to New York, and I'm actually gonna find that server and see its specs. So I have another thing for the staff community. I've been recently told that there are a lot of staff members that have been mini-modding when they were Randys, and then they suddenly get accepted to staff. Honestly, that's not a good experience. That's not a good reason for experience as staff, is mini-modding. I'm pretty sure mini-modding on the server is actually punishable for the same punishment as spam. That's what I've been doing back in the past, but then nobody has been doing it ever, so I stopped doing it myself. So staff requirements and all that are kind of shifting as well. Somehow you're able to actually become staff if you actually mini-mod on the server, and especially due to the fact that we don't see you ever. If you apply to staff and you haven't even logged on the server, welcome to the staff team, buddy. I'm not gonna lie, there might be some people that actually go on different game modes, but some staff members I actually checked. I checked Kip PvP, I checked all the game modes there. I don't see them. So, I mean, this could be a conspiracy theory that I'm gonna say. Maybe the staff manager is actually accepting people that are they actually didn't like Minecraft. Maybe they're just a Discord staff member. That's all, and they're just added to the Slack team. Holy shit! I should be a conspiracist. So yeah, I could say that the staff team is actually shifting, but recently, before I resigned, Holly actually made it where the staff applications, you are only, I think, 14 years of age, you're able to apply, which honestly, there are some positive things about Skycade that's currently going on, so I want to say props to you on that one. So in conclusion, Skycade sucks and I'm not joining back ever. I'm not going to apply for staff on February. I am going to apply on Skycade. Yeah, you thought that wasn't that was dead, huh? Now, before I sign off, I know I have said some negatives on this video, and there are some positives about Skycade and how it's like increasing in player count, but there were some things I have noticed about in this video, and probably by the time this video is released and by the time they see this conclusion, or not even this conclusion, but by the time some staff see this video, they might not consider me to re-add me in staff in February, and maybe they might respond to the video because they actually are good at making response videos to like disses and diss tracks and just criticism videos like these. Thank you guys for watching. Can't wait for those dislikes. Subscribe if you haven't, and I will see you guys in December.